Madcap music review. We're here at the Grove of Anaheim with the metal queen Doro Pesch. How are you?
Hey, very good, very good. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I'm all sweaty still, like from the gig, but oh man, it was a great night. And we were all very happy.
You're wrapping up the Strong and Proud tour, which is basically coming back to the West Coast and doing the 30th anniversary celebration.
Yeah, we did the first leg in October, and then I know we hit Colorado and Texas, which was awesome. Everything was awesome. Oh, Kyle. It's camera. The chips are on camera.
That's Kyle.
That's Kyle our road.
Say hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle. Yeah, man. That's gotta eat, you know.
Yeah,
and he has nothing to eat except potato chips. But anyhow, Texas was great, and Colorado. We started in Philadelphia. It was snowing and ice, and then we escaped the snowstorm. And then Springfield, Atlanta, and now here, and here it's nice and warm. And
then you headed up to Ramona, Vegas, and then wrapping it up with the world famous whiskey.
Yeah. I played many times in the whiskey. I love it, and that's awesome. And tonight my old guitar player from the Warlock times, from the Triumph and Agony album, he was here and was special guest. That was cool.
Came out and did 2 songs with you. That was great.
Tommy Bowen, and we're still great friends, and it was, it brings back great memories, and he was definitely he was definitely a big part of the Triumph and Agony album.
Oh yeah, and that was the album that broke you guys. It made you huge.
It was I think it was one of our best records. And then MTV played All We Are, and
just took
Heavy
off from
Rotation,
there.
you can't beat that, and then everybody seemed to know it, and I still love to play it. It's still our favorite song to play, because it gets the people going. The connection is so deep.
The fans would love to sing it.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
And I love when I give them the microphone, everybody just sings, whatever. Sometimes
they're so happy.
Yeah, so happy, and sometimes they scream in it, and they don't even sing the right lyrics, and it's so cool. It's so cool, And that's what All We Are is all about. Just like, hey, do what you feel, and
absolutely. And you've always been one of the best, I think you and Rob Halford, the heavy metal ambassadors. I mean, you live and breathe it. You decided at a very young age. You got really sick when you were 16 and decided you were going to dedicate your life to music.
Totally. Yeah, I always wanted to sing since I was 3.
Little Richard, right?
Yeah, Little Richard was my first single when I was 3 years old. And back then there was no heavy metal. I know for young metalheads that's impossible, but when I grew up there was no heavy metal. And then I had my first band when I was 15, 16.
Snakebite,
Yeah, it was Snakebite, wow, Yeah, and then it was Snakebite, then Beast, then Attack, then Warlock, and then I guess it was the right time, and it was the beginning of when metal was starting to get bigger and bigger. And at first we didn't even know that we were doing heavy metal, but later on we found out, because there weren't any magazines yet,
and
of course no internet, and it was all it was really
small
hard
labels
to
like
find out.
Mausoleum was the first Burning the Witches.
And they gave us this big chance, and we had no idea that people would know about the band. And then suddenly the record came out, and it sold, I don't know, I think 25,000 records in 1 month. And we thought maybe, our family and friends, they would buy the record. So we counted 100 pieces we would sell.
Right.
And then they said 25,000. We were so blown away that people would even know about our little band. And then I always wanted to go to America, always. And then in '86,
New York.
I came to New York, and then I stayed, and then we did actually the Triumph and Agony album, and I could feel the energy, and I knew it was something magical going on.
One of my favorite albums of yours, and it's an interesting story behind it, Love Me in Black in '98.
Yeah.
They wanted you originally, to cut your hair short and dye it black, and you said, no, that's not metal, I'm not.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think it's one of the best records. I think so classy. There's great songs, the sound. somebody great did it, Jimmy Harry. I love him. He is so talented. He's definitely a genius, and you know, a lot of fun. And then some other people were involved in making this record. The Krupps, that's a German industrial band. So when Love Me in Black was being made, you know, everybody was excited. It took 3 years, and then when it should have, you know, been released, then people said, okay, you got to change your style. Yeah, cut your hair short, black. And I thought, oh man, no. And don't wear leather anymore. Don't wear black anymore. And I thought, no way. And I thought, no, that's not metal. And you know, I said, if you don't do it, then we will not release this album. And I said, okay, I know the fans will find out about it. I know the die-hard fans, they always know all the songs. And I said, okay, I can't do it, man. I'm a metalhead. I always want to stay there. I want to stay in the metal spirit.
Yeah.
And and then I had to pay the price that the record never came out in the States. Many records didn't come out in that time, in the 90s, when grunge was so big, and no chance. And every record, you know, I thought, man, it has great songs. It has great sound, great people on it, like great special guests were playing on it.
Absolutely.
Like Earl Slick, he was playing on the Machine to Machine record, the David Bowie guitar player, awesome, and Elliot Easton, and like phenomenal people. But when grunge was big, they didn't.
That was a tough time for heavy metal,
yeah,
but you kept going and you flew the flag.
Yeah, actually in Europe we could still do it, you know. Metal was still, you know, strong.
It's always been strong there, but they've got all the great festivals.
Yeah, no, wow. And Wacken, the festival I always love to talk about, they actually put on the metal festival when metal was like not so big, and it started out very small, like I think 1,000, 2,000 people were there.
Oh wow!
And now it's always like
huge.
80 or 90.
And they asked you to write the theme song. We were the metalheads.
Actually, I sang it. A metalhead wrote the song, a fan.
Oh.
And then I said, hey, do you want to sing the Wacken anthem? And I said, yeah, sure. And then I said, well, a diehard metal fan wrote a song, check it out. And then I got the demo, and I thought, I love it. I love it. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we went to the studio and I changed a couple of things here and there. But yeah, sometimes in the magazine I said I wrote it, but it's one of the rare songs I didn't write.
Oh wow!
I loved it right away. I thought, the chorus is great, and and it was an honor to sing it. And I always love to sing it. And I think live, the fans love that too.
Absolutely. And last year, This Is Your Life, the Dio tribute album came out, and your wonderful version of Egypt, The Chains Are On, was on there. Of all of his, and I know how much you loved him and how much he meant to you, so of all of his songs, how did you come about picking that one to do?
Oh, Egypt was always my favorite song.
Always?
Yeah, Egypt and The Last in Line.
Yeah.
And I thought, Egypt, I want to do Egypt, and I love to sing it. And on this tour we always really mix up the set list and whatever people call out. We played it last night, and but today there was a strict curfew.
Yeah.
So, when Johnny did the drum solo, then people said, hey, 20 more minutes. I thought, oh my God.
How am I going to fit in Hero? How am I going to fit in all these songs?
Yeah, and then, and of course I have to play Oh Yeah. And I wanted to play Revenge today because I knew a couple of people were loving it. DJ Will from KNSC is a big supporter. I know it's his favorite song, so I wanted to play that for him. And then Tommy Bowen, our Warlock guitar player, he was there, and we wanted to do Metal Tango and East Meets West. So,
absolutely.
But every day is a different set list.
When you wrote Hero, was
first
it
song on the Raise Your Fist record?
Yeah, absolutely. Did you write it right after his passing in 2010, or did it take a while for you to soak that in? Or
actually, maybe it was 1 year later, or half a year later. But it was the first song I wanted to write for the record. Actually, I didn't think of making a new record. The song came out. It just came out. I was in New York. I was in my apartment, and I wanted to, go to sleep, and then suddenly the melody popped out and the lyrics, and then I wanted to get it right, and I called my old producer of the Triumph and Agony album, Joey Bannon, because he was on tour with us in '87.
That's
and
right.
That was my first time when I could tour with Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah, the Dream Evil tour.
Yeah, and it was so awesome. And Joey, he was with us on tour, so I called him. I said, "Hey, Joey, I have a song. It's very important to me, and it's for Ronnie James Dio, and I want to make sure that the lyrics, everything is perfect, everything is right. Shall we finish it?" And then I went to his apartment, and we finished it. And yeah, because I always feel every song needs to be recorded in the place where it's taken care of good, and where people understand it. Sometimes people, they love speed metal, but then they don't maybe can't connect with like
the softer
ballad.
songs.
Yeah. And to me, they are as important. Like something like Hero or Love Me in Black, it's very important. So yeah, and actually we recorded it all over Hero. It was actually hard to mix too, because I wanted to have it like really soulful, and I went to many studios, and my engineer in New Jersey, Mike Goldberg is his name, he just won a Grammy for Best Rock and Blues record. He did the Johnny Winter record.
Oh, okay, right on.
And I went to him and I said, I want to try out, the vocals. And then we did it, like I always like to work at night, all night.
It sounds amazing with the orchestra, when you did the orchestrated version. I believe that was in Germany last year, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that was impressive.
Yeah, we are just working on the DVD for the 30th anniversary.
That's what I heard. It's coming out this fall?
Yes, it's coming out this fall.
That's awesome.
It's a big package. Like when we do DVDs, it takes 1-2 years to make, but it's then really, really nice and really quality. And there are tons of great
special people.
live shows.
It's Claus from the Scorpions, Michael Schenker, Udo comes out.
Yeah, on the 25th anniversary, the Scorpions came out, and many other guests, and Taya, the ex-singer of Nightwish, and so many great guests. And now we have Udo Dirkschneider again.
Was Biff on this one from
Biff
Saxon?
Too, yeah, Biff from Saxon, and Lordi, and Hansi Kirsch of Blind Guardian, and so many great people. And in New York, we weren't allowed to film the show. I was so bummed out.
Oh,
because
really?
we want to film the whole show, and then we had some problems with the club. So I can't believe it. But bits and pieces we can put on the DVD. Bobby Blitz was on stage, and Jeff Waters and Chris Caffrey, and it was awesome. And then we did the whole Wacken show.
Yeah.
That's actually, I think that will start off the DVD, and you see 100,000 people go insane. And we built a big stage. It took 1 year to build.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, when you will see it, it's nice. And so many great. The singer of Sabaton was on stage, and Chris Beutenthal of Gravedigger, and there's so many.
That's so
people.
cool.
Yeah, it's.
And speaking of design,
and Phil Campbell of
Motorhead,
yeah. We play the Breaking the Law because
That's right.
Lemmy, we wanted to do something together, but that day we played Wacken, and it was the hardest day I think in history in Germany, and but Phil is playing.
That's right. That's the day Lemmy got a little sick.
Right. And I love Lemmy, and he was there in spirit. I know that.
Yeah, he'll probably be there on Wednesday at the Whiskey.
I want to call him. I hope. I don't know if they're on tour, but
And speaking of design, you design your own clothes because you're a strong supporter of PETA.
Yeah, and all the clothes. Not what I have on now, but all the stage clothes. It's all different material. It's not anymore real leather, because in the 80s I didn't think about it. I loved leather, but there are different alternatives, and the animals didn't get hurt, and so And the stuff looks as good.
It does. I would have never known had I not researched it.
No. You know, sometimes you have to really look close because, you know, between fake leather or different materials, you don't see a difference.
And you're also a supporter of, I forget how to say it in French, but it's
Terre de Femme.
Yeah, women's earth.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm so grateful. I could always do what I wanted, always say what I wanted, sing what I wanted. You know, like growing up in Germany, it was totally okay. You know, you were a free person. But I tell you, when we toured the world, I saw so many places where
a lot of oppression.
Hey, totally, man, totally. I can't believe it. But yeah, and they take care of like severe problems of young women, young girls, and you know, and I want to support that, man. Especially in this time and age, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's like the middle age and something.
Oh, I know. It's crazy the way it's terrible, absolutely terrible.
Okay, yeah. Our tour measure is given 5 minutes. Yeah, we're sitting here in the tour bus, so you know.
That's right.
The crew.
They've had a long day, and they drive out to Ramona.
Yeah.
Any plans on going into the studio for a follow-up to Raise Your Fist?
Yeah. We first concentrate on finishing the DVD, that it will definitely come out this fall, and then doing the new CD. We have already a couple of songs, couple of ideas. I think, oh man, there's some songs I think the fans might really like it. I'm on fire already for one idea. I think this could be a big song.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for your time. You've always been so wonderful to us, and most importantly, thank you for what you've done for the heavy metal community for all these years.
Hey, I'm so happy to be a part of it. I will always be a metalhead, and I will always support metal, and the fans. That's to me it. There's nothing more important, more beautiful than the fans to me. And
you can see it when you play that connection. It's there and it's deep.
From day one, even in the 80s when we played small clubs, I always felt, hey, that's my life. That's the love of my life, and it grows every year. And I feel I appreciate it every year, and especially when grunge was so big, and then when metal wasn't doing so well, and then when metal came back, I tell you, man, I think we all the metal bands, everybody knows.
United,
and
how special it is.
It's sacred, man. It's sacred,
Absolutely. Well, here's to another 30 years, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Doro Pesch, one of the greats.
I love you guys, metalheads. Keep metal alive.
Absolutely.